So, with that being said, do you feel like you're holding yourself back? It doesn't mean just in the online business. It doesn't mean in anything. Do you feel like, if you're being honest with yourself, do you feel like you're holding yourself back? And why? What are you afraid of? When you can acknowledge that you're holding yourself back, find out why. Figure it out. Figure out, why is it that I'm stuck where I'm at right now? Why is it that I'm holding myself back? Acknowledgement. Acknowledge, acknowledge, acknowledge. And that's really what this is about, is acknowledgement. You know, you've got to be able to call yourself out. And that was one of the biggest things that I started doing in this little transformation thing that I started, you know. I had to start calling myself out. And man, when I did, the list just kept growing and growing. I'm like, holy cow, I can't believe the amount of stuff that I've allowed myself to do by making excuses for my shitty behavior. It's the reason that I've held myself back. It's the reason that X, Y, and Z, whatever it was in that moment, you know? I still do stuff today, you guys, come on. Nobody's perfect. But today I can recognize what I'm doing. There's a difference, right? Okay. So, how can we change past behaviors that has held us back? We talked about first time shame on them, second time shame on us, right? Allowing others to hold us back, or allowing others to contradict what we want to do or what have you, right? The biggest thing is acknowledgement. The second thing would be acknowledging. When you acknowledge that behavior and you sit in it, that's when you can call yourself out on it, right? So I want you to write down, and I want you, in that moment, I want you to ask yourself these couple of things. Start by writing down, do I make excuses for myself? Do I quit too quickly and never finish something? Do I hold myself back because of fear or failure? So do I make excuses? Do I quit too quickly, never finishing anything? And do I hold myself back because of fear of failure? By a raise of hands in your camera, how many of you have held yourself back for fear of failure? I kind of figured that, right? How many of you, by the raise of hands, have quit something too quickly only to never finish it? And then be so disappointed in yourself, right? So, Let me get this back over here. Okay, there we go. I want to bring something to mention. Do you remember this last job you had? Do you remember when you walked into that job? Did you know how to do that job? The way that office or that facility or that whatever wanted you to do that specific job? No. Right? Everybody has their way of doing things. So, what makes you think that you're going to have all the answers about this business? What makes you think that you're just going to start and you're going to blast off and everything's just going to be perfect, hunky-dory, and you're going to be a millionaire in a couple months? Right? See, I had no preconceived notion that I was going to be a millionaire in a couple months. I didn't even think I could quit one job in 3 years. I was willing just to learn, right? I was willing just to learn. So just remember, think back about any job that you've ever had or anything that you've done new. You've had to come into it with no knowledge. You've had to train. You've had to learn. And then you add a little bit more and a little bit more. And then the longer that you've been employed at a specific place or whatever, the more knowledge you've gained. The more jobs were added to, your workload. Give yourself some grace. Yes, right? Give yourself some grace. It's okay not to know everything. Yes, I love it. Okay, step by step, take it day by day. Be patient with yourself. If you feel like you're frustrated, get up and walk away for a little bit. Get off of social media for a little bit. Have grace for yourself. Okay?